So we've popped a mile up the road to shoot the first of our Meet the Maker videos. We are at Ashley Watson's studio and we're looking at some of the lovely products he designs that we stock at the bike shed and learning a bit more about him. Great place, man.
Yeah,
show us around.
Cool. Well, I'm on the second floor, so a little bit to go, but
okay,
cool place. Feels like you're in New York. And then this is the bike.
Got the W here.
Yes.
Seen this guy before?
Yeah, it's had a couple. It's been at the shows the last 2 years, so it's always had a great lot of interest.
Dan, we'll have to do another video on this. We'll have to get it down the shed and do a video here all about the bike.
Definitely.
Yeah,
cool.
Man. Let's see the studio.
Cool.
Oh, it's lofty up here. This is lovely.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. How long have you been here?
7, 8 months or something like that. This is looking amazing, but it's been a winter of single glazed glass and wearing pretty much all the samples in this room to keep warm.
I can't believe how close you are. You are a 5-minute ride up the road from us.
Wait,
so when did we first meet you? We first met you 2015. We just opened the shed.
That's right,
and we were seeing loads of different potential stock for the shop, and we got your shirts and your.
That's right. So the original Kempton.
The original Kempton shirt,
which is like a heavyweight. Yeah, exactly. And then some accessories.
Yeah, and it was shortly after that you teased us with your first motorcycle product, wasn't it? The jacket.
That's right. Yeah. So that was when. Yeah. So 2015. That was when I. Sort of that autumn was when I was first doing the sketches for it. So I think I came down to you, showed you a few sketches, and I found the original sketch there.
Did you?
I dug it out for you. Yeah.
Oh, the original sketches.
Yeah. So you can see.
Nice, man.
Yeah. They're.
And when did you bought the show? You bought the jacket to the show in 2016, didn't you?
That's right. That was really just to see what people were thinking about it.
Yeah. It was great for us because people loved it at the show, didn't they?
They did. Yeah. It was a good reaction, and it was really like it was quite nervous because I hadn't seen a jacket like it, so it was a bit like, I don't know if people are going to like it, and it was a bit of a, it was just it was a good tester, so people seemed to like it. People seemed to like it, which gave me a lot of like confidence.
We should get into the jacket. So it's kind of your headline piece.
Yeah, this was like the first thing, and it was kind of like a new way of working for me as well. This was the first time that I really brought my passion for motorbikes and my background in design together, and it was a really sort of a meticulous process going through it, and it was definitely a step away from the sort of my background in clothing design, which is trend and is quite subjective, and you just what do you like, what you don't like, whereas this was very much about what works and what doesn't work. Function. So it was function, and
it's a beautiful piece. And we had a launch party for this at the bike shed, didn't we?
Absolutely, yes. So that was in July 2017. So first sketches 2015, had it at the show, went away for a month to test it over that 2016 summer, brought it back, pretty much redesigned the whole interior, put Dyneema throughout. It's got a seam seal drop liner as well. So all these things that I learned on the trip, put them all into the jacket, and then sort of had it in production, and then it was launched in 2017. So sort of 18 months of work from this to. From drawing to that, and you can sort of see the. Yeah.
So we've had this guy in the shop since day one, and I just love the fact that there's so much technical sort of equipment packed into it with the Dyneema, the waterproof membrane, the D3O, but the fabrics. It's got a real sort of beautiful heritage feel through the heavyweight fabrics.
And this is a wax cotton made by British Millerain, and it's made in England as well. And I think it's the guys that make this jacket have been producing outerwear for decades and decades. They know what they're doing, and it's things. What's nice about working with people like that is that it's things that people don't necessarily notice, but like the weight of the stitching, things like that are the things that give the jacket this kind of a feel of it being sort of seeming right.
And all of your gear's made in the UK.
It is, yeah.
And is that a sort of?
Yeah, I'm definitely really passionate about that, and probably not so much for the sort of flag waving. No, not for that sort of Trumpy kind of make it great again. It's more because I keep an eye on it. The guys are 2 hours up the road, so I can get up there on a train if it's a quick meeting, or I can ride up or whatever. I can go and meet them. I can talk to them about it. I can show them how things are working or not working, and so they can kind of understand that this movement's not working, and so I'm working really closely with the pattern cutters on these garments. And what's happened now is because I've got such great relationships with the people, they now recommend other suppliers that will understand the way that I like to work. Yeah. And so I'm working with knitwear and.
Because this is just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the flagship, but then it was like prove the concept, like to prove this way of working, prove this type of design, this sort of new direction. And
it's really exciting seeing all the new products that are coming out now from you in terms, like I'm wearing your shirt today, dressed especially.
Nice, thanks for that.
Yeah, and it's a bit warm for it.
I know, it is a little bit today.
Yeah, I just love the sort of level of design and thought that goes into everything, because it's different. It's definitely a different approach to most of the traditional motorcycle gear that we're used to.
Form and function in equal measure.
Form and function in equal measure.
There you go.
Good.
Off the
I like
tongue.
it.
Where that comes from is that the best, in my opinion, the best menswear, the best clothing design, the best design always starts with a problem. And I think what's really nice about designing for motorcycles is that there is a very real problem. And I don't think there are many areas of design where it's like you're getting nailed by wind and rain and there's abrasion, all these things. I don't think there are many areas. And what's really nice about it is that if you design for those very specific needs, the people that buy the products appreciate why you designed it that way. And I don't think I've never experienced it where you get such kind of people picking up on all the details.
Bike is, I mean, we're all detail guys, aren't we?
I think so. Exactly. So. We like to know how our bikes work. We like to fix them. We make sure they're running well. So I think that kind of thought process goes into the stuff we're wearing. And what's exciting about these new Dyneema and D3O, and they're really pushing
Dyneema throughout.
Exactly. But what's amazing about these fabrics is you can move away from just designing leathers. You don't have to wear a leather to be protected. So it means you can design products that
real world.
You can wear this any day. And you can design things that you want to wear, and then you can make them protective and bring that into them. And it's just it's opening up the design, the possibilities of what you can do.
I've said this before, that I love the fact that I used to have my motorcycle gear and my stuff that I wore the rest of the time, and now I'm kind of like, I've got one wardrobe and I can wear it on the bike and I can wear it off the bike. And
exactly.
It's a great place to be.
And that's kind of where this came from too. Is like, and that's where when I got my bike, and it was like I was looking for gear that I could wear on and off the bike, and that was one of the reasons I started designing this product, because I was like, it was very much bike clothing or other, and there wasn't somewhere in the middle, and I just felt like that was kind of what I was looking for. And I think I'm quite a normal guy, so I think other people might want it too.
Make it for yourself.
A lot of the time.
So what was before bikes? What was before you started your own label?
So my background is graphics and illustration. That was my degree, I guess. And I left uni and got a job designing for Ted Baker, doing print T-shirts. So but literally just the prints. I wasn't expecting that at all, really. didn't even realise that was a job, to be honest.
Right.
Like doing designing T-shirts. But I remember like a guy came to me and was like, "You should maybe show your portfolio around." And I was like, "Okay, sounds pretty fun." So I got into that. So I started doing that, and then while I was there, I kind of got more interested in the clothing side of things. I started designing the denim for them, and I think that was really interesting for me because the backstory of them, the history, all the sort of workwear references, and then that kind of sparked an interest in why things are done the way they are.
So what references are in your jacket? Sort of.
So there's a lot of military, but there's a lot of flying references. So like World War One, lot of trench coats and flying jackets. Because if you think about those early kind of jackets, of like wind was the thing, right? It's like, how do you stay warm? And so if you look at that, you think, okay, well that's kind of,
if it works in a plane,
it's going to be all right on a bike. So and that was really interesting. So so I guess those were the things. And
when did you launch your own label?
So I did that. Oh goodness, 3.5 years ago now. I kind of knew I always wanted to do my own thing and sort of set my own sort of briefs, I guess. Yeah. And that started out actually with the key clip that I think you've got one as well, which I've got, which was from my landlord telling me, like, if you lose your keys again, you're gonna, I'm gonna have to change the locks. So I was like, well, I've got to do something about this. So I designed a key clip, and then, so I started off with like little accessories, really, and I guess as my knowledge grew, and as my pockets got a little bit deeper, I could start to afford to do a little bit more and bigger stuff. And then I started doing the shirts, and then that was when I sort of had this idea of combining my passion for bikes and the clothing, and then.
You do a lot of development on your trip. When did you do the trip?
The trip was in 2016, the summer of that. Yeah. So I've actually got the maps.
Let's have a look. Yeah, dig in.
This is Spain.
Oh, dude.
And these are great. I mean, if anyone was going on, get a map and draw your line. So here you go. This is coming down from France across Spain.
And you did this on your W, yeah?
W that you've seen downstairs. If anyone's here, Bardenas Reales Desert is amazing. And so this is the Serra da Estrela National Park, which is amazing. So the reason I first came here was I was originally developing the jacket in Portugal. So that was kind of, and then it was before I sort of changed to bring it back to the UK. So I came to visit the factory and rode there, and then I kind of went back up and round. So and then there's France, and then there's the Alps as well. So yeah,
did a lot of sort of riding in the stuff to develop it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the only kind of part of like, you know, I very much felt like I was quite new to designing motorcycle gear, and you know, and I felt like what I mean by that is I felt like I was up against, but you know, there's people like Dalston who have been doing it for, you know, hundreds. Is it 100 years? I don't know. Probably. Like more time than you can sort of remember.
You need to put some miles on it.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, so this design works in a studio. I get it, kind of makes sense, but there's only one way to really know if it's going to work. And so that's been the sort of like a fundamental thing for all of my clothing, I think, is to design it and then get out on the bike and ride it.
You've got a few more little bits around it. Are we allowed to look at all this?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, definitely.
What you got up here?
So this is the patterns for the Evershot jacket.
Right. How many pieces in one jacket?
Yeah, it's a good question. maybe I'll count it when you're gone, and then you can put it in afterwards or something. Tool roll, prototype, which this came off the back of the trip, because I kept sort of finding myself fixing the bike a little bit, like the carburetors. I was learning a lot about that on getting those right, and but I kept getting little bits of grit in my knees when I was at the side of the road. So I had this idea when I came back of doing a roll mat that when you sit beside it, it's got a pad, so you can just sort of like. So you've got your tools, you've got your bike,
you've got your broken machine,
and you've got comfy knees. Who doesn't want comfy knees when they're fixing their bike?
Cool. What's next then?
I'm starting work on some trousers. That's my next big one.
Big project.
Big project. So I've sort of done some sketches, and I'm going to start prototyping that now.
These some drawings.
Yeah, some sketches. So standard like armour, but it's just going to be like the fit is going to be a little bit different. The fabrics.
They don't give a lot away, those drawings, do they?
No, I think I'm going to keep this a little bit close to my chest. You can kind of the waistband's going to be a little bit longer, but bigger. But that's it. That's all you're getting.
When you're ready to show us.
Yeah. So I'm planning to go away this summer. So I'm hoping to have that prototype ready.
Where you going?
And I want to go around Eastern Europe. So I want to go like as far as Ukraine, and then kind of Moldova and Romania, and then just kind of cut down. And I've got a mate that's about to move out to Athens or Greece or somewhere near there. And he was like, yeah, you come stay. So I might go meet him for a couple of days on the beach and then kind of come home. So that's the plan.
Wearing all the gear.
Yeah, I guess so.
Great.
Yeah, that's it. So
cool, man. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. What am I doing? Just say hello. You're going to say hello and then I'll shake your hand, yeah? Yeah.